Hello, friend. Today is the environment, the inner authority of environment. This is a really interesting one, and so will tomorrow's also be interesting. But inner authority here is a little different, and I don't want to confuse anybody, but there is you'll see. Let's just move forward. So inner authority, here we go. And let's just chat about this a little bit. And if you've been following through with the any of the videos, you've probably seen me talk about this slide. So what does inner authority do for us? Inner authority is a way for you to listen to your own consciousness field. Don't be in the head, get out of your own way, get out of your head, and make decisions from the consciousness of the body. The inner authority brings the power of your decisions back into your own consciousness field. So yes, I know we are a part of the consciousness field, the one, and we permeate through that. We are on the web. We are the web. But we're having our own differentiated experience within that context. So that differentiated experience, when we can tune our instruments, as I talk about in a little bit here, so we tune our instruments and get ourselves to the correct frequency that we came here to hone in on and to operate from, we then assist the entire consciousness field in elevating its consciousness. So the inner authority empowers you to live your own individualized life. It's not about conformity. It's about individuation. It's about, standing out from the crowd, and standing out by the crowd by making decisions correctly for yourself. I'm not saying you got to run around with blue hair and pink socks or anything like that to stand out. It's about just being truthful to your own frequency. The inner authority elevates self-actualization to a place of pure awareness. So what happens is you get to become aware of really what is going on and how distracted and how distracting the chaos can be. The distraction of trying to get you to make decisions in your mind, in your head, and that whole, decision fatigue and exhaustion. We all know this. We all know this feeling of, it's like mental exhaustion. We can't make another decision. Well, we're not built to make decisions through the mind. We're built to make decisions through the body. And, I was there. I was in corporate Canada, managing a branch of a financial institution, and mental fatigue was like every day. And it's because I wasn't able to, and I didn't know this information, and I didn't trust myself in that environment to make decisions based off of my consciousness. So inner authority assesses what is correct for you. It's not about, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. It's not about the peer pressure. It's about what is correct for you. Inner authority sets up the movie so you can watch it. So the movie's already playing. So it's not that it sets it up per se, but it allows you to then see the movie. It gets, all the bugs off your windshield. It cleans up those lenses a little bit and allows you to actually look around and go, oh, okay, interesting, instead of being reactive through the mind. The inner authority is the composer of the instrument that you came here to play through. So in your bodygraph, that definition, that's your instrument. That's, what you have to play with. And, you know, there's a limitation there. I'm not here to have all the experiences, and I'm not here to hold all the energy and do it all. Geez, I don't want to do it all. Not interested in that. I came here to use my instrument. You came here to use your instrument. And the beautiful piece of that is then instead of getting all caught up and you know, fearful and worried and anxious about what you're not good at, you get to stand in your truth and stand in your power and, you know, be fully self-aware and self-actualized as to what you are good at, and move from that place and move from that instrument that you were handed when you jumped into your meat suit. Inner authority clears up the airwaves and tunes in your outer authority. And I'll have a video about outer authority after I get through all the inner authorities. Outer authority is all that wisdom that you're grokking from life, that you're letting flow through and you're gaining. And outer authority then can be, you know, shared with the collective. It can be a, you know, support system for your tribe. It can help people through empowering them to, you know, to step into their own truth. So the outer authority is when your healthy mind, when the healthy mind is using its correct range of information and sharing that information through your instrument in a clear, crisp way. When your radio dial is off by just a little bit, a little 1 point of a hertz, you know how the radio goes and it's staticky, and the broadcast is, you can't hear it, it's annoying. That is what happens when we're trying to make decisions through the mind, use the mind as our decision maker instead of allowing the mind to do what it came here to do, and that's be an outer authority. I'm gaining lots of wisdom all day long, but I'm not going into my mind to make those decisions. I'm going into my body. And then all that wisdom can then be shared correctly as an outer authority. And no, I'm not perfect. I don't make decisions correctly all the time, even though I know this information inside and out. It's a process. It really is a process. Because that not self, that nasty mind is constantly chattering in the background. And yeah, I can lose focus. And I just can then see it. You know, instead of getting so far down the rabbit hole that I can't get my way out, just at the entrance of the rabbit hole, I can go, oh, here we go. This was a decision that wasn't good for me. I can course correct and move on. That's what self-actualization is all about. So, environment is actually the only type that has this, is what we call a mental projector, okay? The inner authority here is actually the environment. And then you're like, huh? I thought that all that was conditioning. Well, it can be two things. It can be wisdom or it can be conditioning. And for mental projectors, it really is about the environment. So who do you have around you? Who do you have around you? Does the environment feel good to you? So you see this beautiful little diamond here that's white in this particular illustration. Well, that's called the identity center. And when that identity center is white, or undefined or open, environment becomes a key factor in how you interact with life. So I am not a mental projector, okay? But I do have the identity center completely open in my design. And here, we can just take a look at it just for a minute. What's really interesting here is environment is crucial for me. So I'll give you a quick example. I was asked to do a talk at a holistic show in Grand Prairie. And this is like probably, I don't know, I think 3 years ago. Time's kind of a distorted concept, but I believe it was then. And yes, there was energy there for it. My sacral moved me, and it was a yes. I knew that I was going to have this. I didn't have a booth in the show, but I was going to do a talk. And from my memory of the year prior, they had the stage in a particular spot. And I never even thought to ask if they were going to change the schematic of the event. Never even crossed my mind to do that. Well, I get there to do my talk, and the stage is out right in the middle of the whole thing. You're right in the center. People are walking around all four sides. They're able to come up to the stage any way they want to. And that completely threw my identity center right off. Completely threw it right off. So that was a learning for me that, I guess I need to, confirm how the room is going to be set up for next time. I'm a 1-3. I make mistakes. Trial and error is my whole entire process. And, I have I think 8 third lines in my design. Something like that anyways. It's a ridiculous amount. So everything's trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And that situation taught me about environment. So as a mental and projector, environment is crucial, because if the environment is right, the correct people are there, okay? So really what's going on here is that you're designed to receive guidance from your sensory environment This design receives guidance from sensory information about the environment through its open centers. You're gaining wisdom. Sensory is sensory, like taste, touch, sight, frequency, feeling, all of that. You're gaining that through your environment. And that is something that was, massive learning for me. All of a sudden, that particular setup was the wrong environment for me. I got up, I was supposed to talk, I think I was supposed to talk for 45 minutes. I don't even think I got through 5 minutes of it. There was nothing there. So that was really interesting to me. And I actually sat there in that environment, because I knew that the body wasn't feeling great about the environment. But I sat there. I think I sat there for probably 2 or 3 speakers prior to me. And that didn't help. I thought, okay, I'll just get a sense for this. That didn't help. The environment was wrong. And that's okay. It was a learning experience. So for you as a mental projector, the correct environment brings the correct people, brings the correct, bargains, brings the correct ideas. I've done many talks over the last 6 years, and every one of them has, ended up creating relationships with clients that I learned from and they learned. And in that particular instance, there was nothing. And that's okay, because I was learning. It's okay. So environment is everything for you. So decisions for you come about through conversations with trusted sounding boards. The people in your environment, you're going to use them as sounding boards. No, you're not wanting their opinion. You don't need their ideas. You don't need any of that, okay? You're just using them as a sounding board. No different than a basketball player uses, the backboard to drop drop a basketball into the hoop. It's just a tool. So we're all using people. So it's okay that you're using people. And you're not pulling people. You're having a conversation with them so that you can hear the wisdom that you have gained about the decision by having someone else be your sounding board. Okay? So pay attention to the people in your environment. If all those people are trying to, give you their opinion and pull you down paths that aren't good for you, and and you feel all that because there's such a sensory, there's so much sensory information permeating your being, so that you can voice that wisdom. If the wrong people are there, most likely it's the wrong environment. How are you feeling in your environment? And for me, it was a visceral feeling. The moment I walked in the doors, my whole body was like, eek. It's like everything kind of closed up. This isn't right. So it was a visceral, throughout body feeling. I knew that the environment was wrong. And I had that experience so that I could then speak to other people about that experience. So that I can coach people on that experience. So I can share my wisdom on that experience. And I was totally cool with it. The mind, oh goodness, my not self mind was creating all kinds of stories. And I just went up on stage and I did my little bit, and it's okay. It's all good. I knew that the sacral moved me there to have the experience. Human design isn't about, rainbows and sunshine. No, it's about being able to meet the challenge and step through the challenge. Because I did it correctly as me. That's the difference. So using people as sounding boards, and be upfront with people. I do not want your opinion, and I don't want your ideas. I just want to hear myself talk. And sometimes it's good to have people, reiterate what they heard. I'm not saying all the time, because really you're here to hear your own voice. But, if they reiterate it, then maybe there's something in there that you can then hear. So until you get good at hearing your own voice. But it isn't about their opinions or their ideas. Okay? And just remember, somebody else is, they have their own perception. They have their own motivation. They have their own spin on the information that you just spoke of. So if you're trusting your voice, perfect. But if you're not there yet, play with that scenario and just see if it's, so, if what's coming back to you is really what you said. But again, this is all an experiment. I'm giving you the tools, providing you with the mechanics, and then you get to use it how it's correct for you. So if any of this information has piqued you or brought you to a point of curiosity, definitely contact me. Be more than happy to, even just have a quick conversation if this is right for you or not, and if you and I are a good match even. But I love this information. This is my design. So if you have a little bit of knowledge about human design and you want to see who I am, there I am. That's my frequency. And if there's a resonance there with you, great. If not, that's okay. I'm not here to teach 8 billion people. If there is 8 billion people on the planet, I don't know. I'm not here to teach them all, but I am here to speak to those that can hear me. So if so, I hope to be in contact with you and co-create a really fun experience. All right. Thank you.